Greetings, everybody. This is a late night pre recorded podcast for my Circle of Grace One. Now, you know, I have a channel here on YouTube, and I have a habit of doing random podcasting, but I decided not to appear live tonight. One, I didn't want any interruptions, and not that the interruptions are not good interruptions, but I needed to get this information out as fluidly as possible and as quickly as possible. Tonight's topic is based on my book, my seventh book, which is called Radiant Heart: Seven Amazing Pathways to Connect, Activate, and Communicate with Your Higher Self. And you can purchase this book on Amazon for $25. It's a paperback book. Now, one of the things I want to share with you tonight's topic is Radiant Heart is happening now, and remembrance is key. This has been brought to my attention to share this with you, to many of you who follow me here on YouTube as subscribers, or on Instagram, or on Facebook, and perhaps now on things such as Blue Sky social app, as well as Substack social media app. You know, many things are going on in the world, and we see a lot of this news media blitzing that's happening. Just like a quarterback in football can be the best quarterback in the world, and the defense wants to blitz the quarterback to interrupt their pattern. This has been going on for some time. So much stuff we are seeing in the news. And what has become one of the most popular things, either used in a positive way or a negative way, is AI. Now, I'm not a fan of AI. I might start to work with it a little bit. What I want you to realize is you must control the information that you're feeding into it. Do you know many people aren't getting the credit for their intellectual ideas now because of AI? You can ask AI questions about numerology or astrology. Now, where do you think is going to glean all of that information from? From the people who have studied numerous hours, thousands of hours, to comprehend how to utilize numerology, how to utilize astrology, how to utilize Reiki and understand what it is, how to work with the Grabovoi numbers, and all those things. And usually what happens, that information that you are receiving is often misrepresented. So the people that actually have the information are now losing that information into this artificial intelligence thinking process. And it's leaving many of us out. So if you're going to utilize it so that you're uplifting the collective and not pulling it down, not blocking its natural intelligence. This particular topic tonight, I'm bringing forth more of the positive things for you to begin to focus on. Because as the world turns, as they say, used to be a soap opera TV show with that title, As the World Turns, as everything on this globe is happening. We are constantly being bombarded with electronic impulses designed to block the awareness and the remembrance to utilize all of our crystalline energy, to use all of our chakra energy to kind of block it. You might been going through a process in the last 3 years. You're getting a lot of headaches. Your eyes are tired. Feeling like jolts of electricity popping through your body. Some of that is you, and a great deal of it is external, meaning something placed in the atmosphere designed to block your internal awareness and your ability to remember yourself. These are the things that we have to grow in greater awareness. People might say, you don't need to shield yourself. Yeah, you may not need to wear clothes, but you do. You don't want to get wet by the rain, but you carry an umbrella. You don't want to have cold in your bones, so you wear thermals. You put socks on. You're doing a lot of things to protect the body. You must protect this and the spiritual body as well. Do you know that there's a membrane in the body that sits just beneath the skin and on top of the muscle called the fascia? People who practice martial arts are aware of the fascia. That's where the chi is running through the body. The chi, the ki, the pranic energy that we have internally is running through the body, through the fascia. So I just want to bring that to your attention. Radiant heart is happening now. Your radiant heart is pouring forth into the world. Whether you want to be a motivational speaker, someone's mentor, maybe you want to be a spiritual father or a spiritual mother, maybe you want to connect with ancestral deities or your immediate ancestors along the lineage of your own family. It is important to realize that remembrance is key. In order to radiate the heart from within, the heart is the throne for your true essence, your transcendent self, known as your higher self. And this is this part of you that is with you naturally. In fact, it is you. You are the higher self. And I want you to begin to think about that. I want you to meditate upon that as much as you can. Now, some people might say, meditation is a waste of time. No, it isn't. Meditation helps you to grow more connected to your internal thoughts, to the vibrations that build up within yourself, and allows you to track your own thoughts and your own feelings. How many of you have heard, if you don't control your own mind, if you don't do your own thinking, someone is going to do the thinking for you? Henceforth, be very careful of what you watch on TV, what you see in the movies, what you see on the internet. Be very careful of what you're looking at through your phone, which is a handheld computer. Be aware. Cell phone towers are carrying a lot of energy. Cell phone towers. And it's amazing how the cell phones that we carry, the laptops, the iPads, the notebooks, the desktop computers, are designed to pick up on these frequencies in the air around us. We need to begin to pay attention to those thoughts that we're picking up all the time. Some of the thoughts we pick up, some of the feelings, some of the emotions are not ours. They belong to others. And that's what we must pay more attention to. That's why you need to go within. That's why you need to shield up sometimes until you strengthen yourself on the inside where you become a greater force connected to the divine sources that are built into you. This is why when you first get up in the morning, get up from your sleep, or get up from taking a nap, you need to spend some time in a silent mode. Silence is not just golden or silver or copper, my friends. Silence helps you grow your internal awareness. Silence helps you to have greater remembrance about who you truly are. And you begin to listen on the different wavelengths, bandwidths of energy flowing through your body all the time. You know, it's highly important not to let any old thought come in. Again, some of those thoughts and feelings aren't yours. They belong to other people. They belong to people who are spending all of their time manipulating collective humanity. That's right. No, I'm not going to say what groups or names, because most of you who are going to be watching this have done your own research and you know pretty much what I'm talking about. You know pretty much who is trying to manipulate you through fear, through negative news about, oh, wars or the thoughts of wars. And we hear this stuff all the time. And that's why we need to protect ourselves, just like you would protect a child in your house, your life partner. You got to protect yourself too. You cannot afford to let these negative entities, these thoughts, to constantly bombard your auric field, bombard your mental state, your emotional state, your physical state. It's bad enough that it's happening to us financially. People say all the time, well, I'm going to get some Bitcoins. Well, now you got people stealing Bitcoins. Mm-hmm. People out there stealing your Bitcoins. I know because it's happened to me. People trying to utilize, trying scam accounts and things. So I don't invest in it for that reason. There's always somebody trying to break into your awareness of who you truly are. Now, granted, there are some people who are going to strive to help you, but at whose expense? Whose expense is it? Sometimes people want to help us, in essence, want to take from us, want to manipulate how we think and how we feel about ourselves. And once you know who you are, you don't want to turn back to that old part of yourself when you didn't know anything. So it's very important that you begin to study yourself. Strengthen the way you think, the way you feel, purify your thoughts and feelings. That's important. Drinking energized water, drinking energized juices that you make from fruits and vegetables, eating healthier if you can, going for walks, getting fresh air. But most of all, shift the way you think. So it is important that as we begin to pay attention to this internal heart chakra, the radiant heart is happening right now. The radiant heart has been expanding over the last 10 years, I would say, where you're becoming more conscious of the higher part of you known as your higher self. And that's why I call this radiant heart is happening now. And the subtitle is and remembrance is key. Now, awareness and remembrance is always happening. We are the ones that are responsible for getting to know our true self as the higher self and know that is rising up within us is not really being downloaded into you because it's always been in you. There was nothing to be downloaded. We use those terms to help us have a better understanding how energy is shifting into our consciousness. But what is happening is that we're learning to step into and we're learning to embrace this energy that's being released in the form of remembrances. So you are being more of yourself now. That's what's happening. That's where you want to be. You want to be more of your true self. And the shift is happening in many ways. Here's a series, and this is just a short list. How many of you are feeling or sensing energy surges, almost to the point of having a heart palpitation, or feeling like you've got a mild migraine headache going on, or you have some stiffness in your body that's happening, or you have some subtle pains, and you go to your doctor, your Western doctor, and even your Eastern doctor, and they tell, especially your Eastern doctor can tell you, they can tell you based on what you're thinking about all the time, what are the things that you're worried about all the time. This is important. Maybe you have to work through forgiveness. You know, we have said where a lot of people have wronged us. People have taken advantage of us. People have cursed us out. And usually the people that are cursing you out, don't worry, they're cursing themselves out as well. They're angry at you. They're angry at themselves as well. You see, whatever a person spits at you, spits upon you, that's what they're doing to themselves. Because by the time they get off this planet, all of that energy is going to be replayed back to them. And they're going to feel exactly how you felt when they were busy cursing you, punching you, kicking you, calling you all kind of names. They're going to feel that unless they've done the work on themselves, where they've had an opportunity to become responsible. Having accountability is the favorite word these days. You know, in order to be authentic, you have to pay attention to yourself, how you think and how you speak. There's also feeling aligned and in tune with solar energy and lunar energy. How many of you feel more susceptible to full moon energy, to waning and waxing moons? How many of you feel out of sorts sometimes when there's an eclipse going on? Some people say, "Oh, don't practice any rituals uh, during a what do you call it, a solar eclipse." If I were you, I wouldn't listen to all of that. Sometimes, if someone is telling you that, is they know that you're going to be still, and if they have any psychic ability, they're going to be tuning into you. That's right. Sometimes people say, "I don't do any ritual practice during a solar eclipse." No, they don't want you taking care of yourself, but they're going to take care of you. They're going to be stepping into your energy field all the time. And people will tell you, I'm not going to, don't go into somebody's dreams. And the person who's telling you that they would never do that, they've already have done it. They're not being accountable for their own words, their own actions, their own deeds, their own thoughts. So it's up to you to control not only how you're thinking, but what you're receiving or what you might be feeling or what you might be perceiving as your own thoughts and feelings. It's important to pay attention to your yang and yin forces. Yang force solid, yin light. yang force, masculine, yin, light, feminine energy. You have to balance these energies so that they become together as one and not separated. You might find yourself having not just dreams, but lucid dreams. That's when you awaken in the midst of a dream. Your physical body is sound asleep, but you know that you're consciously aware that you're having a dream. And you can manipulate the scenes, the words, yourself in a lucid state. So you find yourself sometimes having out of body experiences. People use the term astral travel, traveling through the stars. Akhenaten and Nefertiti, my beloved friends, say it is soul traveling. You are your own mothership. We've heard this phrase a long time ago. Who are we waiting for? Who are we waiting to have a connection with? It's our true self, our higher self, God within. Many people from Neville Goddard, the late Neville Goddard, to the late Reverend Ike, to the modern day Michael Beckwith, to the Ayana, if I pronounce her name, Ayana Van Zandt. All of these people tell you the same thing. The late Bob Proctor, they all tell you the same thing. You got to unite your feelings with your thoughts. Late Reverend Ike used to say, let the feeling get the blessing. These are the things we have to learn how to do. Meditation is the key. Meditation is going to lead us there. And you're going to learn how to use your meditation in awakened state of consciousness. So you don't have to sit in silence all the time. You don't have to sit in silence, go within so deep. You can have your eyes open and be consciously aware and awake and receiving these streams of remembrances. You feel like the physical body is expanding. You are releasing old thought patterns, old behavioral patterns. You no longer overreact. You don't even react to things that you hear that used to be disturbing to you. These are things that you need to know about. You need to grow in a sense of greater awareness. You need to realize that you don't have to let other people's thoughts and feelings or perceptions about you upset you because that's what they think. They have to correct their thoughts. Here's something else. You're no longer responding to your own thought patterns, the old ways you used to think or feel how something should be. You're allowing yourself to open up and receive the energy of your own higher self. It's already there. You allow yourself to receive the spirit of grace. I call it the spirit of divine grace, and let it encircle you. You start paying attention to the goodness within yourself, to the Christ consciousness, the Buddhic consciousness inside yourself. You begin to affirm who you are. You begin to realize that nothing else has to disturb you unless you want it to. Linear time is collapsing all around you. This is what we talk about, looks like time is speeding up. Yeah, things are speeding up because we're no longer in this third dimensional process. But people are trying to keep you there. You're aware of that, right? You are aware that there are many people who are trying to entrap you, keep you locked into third dimensional thinking. That's where the ego is. They don't want you to move forward without them. They don't want you to move forward with misery, worry, anxiety, self-hatred, and all that stuff, rumors and gossip. They want you to stay in that with them. No, you have to free yourself. You have to free the mind. You might find yourself also letting go of past hurts, past fears, current hurts, current fears, and the so called possibility of potential fears, future fears. All of this is being impregnated into the ethers around us. Here's something else. People want you to be afraid, afraid of them. Well, who's them? People who are constantly trying to manipulate how you feel about yourself, how you think for yourself. Allow yourself then to sit quietly in silence. Silence is very important. Get up in the morning, slow down your breathing, tune into your heart center, your heart chakra, and begin to relate to how you are feeling at that moment when you're awakening from sleep. Slow down your breathing. Allow the rhythm, your natural rhythm from deep breathing, carry you forward through the day. Maybe you want to ask yourself, what is the thought, the most important thing I want to do in this day, in this week? You need to follow yourself, lead yourself. People say the phrase, and no weapon shall be formed. Shall what? No weapon shall be formed against me. Fear is a weapon. Someone talking about the bombs are going to drop. Someone's talking about, oh, you know, ICE is going to come upon you, or the M word is going to come upon you. Not necessarily. You see, new worlds are being formed all the time. People have been talking about quantum jumping, quantum timeline leaping. There are things that are happening all the time. I remember one time I was living on Long Island, and I was on my way to a Saturday afternoon Tai Chi class. And I was on what they call the L track of the train, when it has to go up like through, whole neighborhoods above in the city. And at one point, the train had to stop and wait for another train to pass it. And what was very unique about that, as we were elevated, we could see the various neighborhoods. And I realized, is it possible that or many things are all happening at the same time? Life is. So here's what I saw. On one street, and this street was running north and south. The train tracks were going um, east and west, okay? So my train was heading west, and the train that we were waiting to pass us was heading east. So I'm looking out the window. I'm on the side of the train where you could see the north side. And this is what I saw. On one street, I saw people washing their cars, neighbors talking to each other outside their houses, washing their cars, their children playing on the sidewalks, riding their bikes, women talking to each other over their backyard fences. On the next street, I saw two cop cars. They weren't pulled to the side, to the curb. They were literally in the middle of the street having a conversation. Now, the next street over, I saw somebody getting robbed. You didn't have cell phones back then, but I saw somebody getting robbed. I saw two people accosting a person, robbing him. Now, can you imagine the block over? So, what we were seeing was like some kind of factory or warehouse where the two people were accosting the person on the bike holding them up, robbing them. And before that was the two cop cars having a conversation. Had no idea that the robbery was going on. And then several blocks going west on that north side was the fire department washing the vehicles. So all of these things are going on all the time. Life is happening all the time. Which frequency are you tuning into? Like a radio. When you turn the dial, whether it's AM frequency you want to get or FM frequency, which one are you attuned to? We're constantly tuning into energy. And this is why it's very important. The biggest, the most functional one is the physical heart. It is the physical heart that gives off more energy than the brain. The brain can slow down. You can slow your thoughts down. You can slow your heartbeat down. But your heart is giving off a large frequency of energy. They call resonance. So when you tune into the resonance, the bandwidth, are you on the same bandwidth, the same frequency, the same thoughts, the same feelings? This is important. So, without overwhelming you, without overwhelming you with a lot of information, let's go into a meditation, a guided meditation. Allow yourself to relax. Inhaling through the nose, releasing through the breath. Inhaling through the nose, releasing through the breath, through the mouth. Just relax. Don't think about anything. You don't need to think about anything. You just need to let the chatter, internal chatter, dissolve. Don't think about the next few minutes coming up. Don't think about the minutes that have just passed. Just want you to relax. I want you to place your awareness in the center of your sternum. Right behind the center is the physical heart. Physical heart is not way up on the left side, not way over here on the right side. It's right between your lungs. That's where your heart is. Relax. Let whatever color comes to mind through your states of remembrance, allow that to reveal itself to you. Keep going now with your breathing. Relax yourself. No more doubt. No more false thinking. No more worry. No more anxiety. Even no more anger. Pay attention to how you feel as you breathe in and out, letting the muscles in the face relax, cheeks, jaw, neck, shoulders, even across the head. Just relax. Let whatever color that you are feeling that's rising up in you, allow that to happen. Pay attention to how it feels when it shows up within you. Now, while you're doing that, I want to thank you for joining me in understanding that Radiant Hearts is happening now. You're shifting into a new sense of what's real to you. You're coming on board. The motherboard is the heart. And you're beginning to pay attention to your feelings, your deepest feelings that go beyond your thought process. If you have an opportunity to get my book, Radiant Heart, 7 Amazing Pathways to Connect, Activate, and Communicate with your higher self, you should. But before I close out, I want to give you something here to reflect. I want you to realize that your heart is a bridge between upper and lower worlds. So I want to give you something, a seed thought. And I want you to only focus on this. From chapter 19 in my book, Be a Beacon Light. In order for us to become a beacon light, we have to do what is called shadow work. This means we have to pull out our own skeletons from the back of our mind. And we must dig deep enough and be willing to see the false stories we have created about ourselves and still carry with us. During these times where we delve deeper to uncover weaknesses, free our minds from illusions, limited thinking, self-doubt, and the need to sabotage our own efforts. The more we diligently work on our lower mindsets and strive to raise our self-esteem, we shall find that if we cannot clear our own clutter, then we are unable to impact or to make an impact on helping others. One of the things is stop living in the past. Often, we don't realize that the mind is cooking overtime. The mind is constantly chattering. There's so much embedded in the subconscious mind that it overflows, it spills over into our conscious thinking process. So we have to control those negative thoughts, those doubts and feelings that no longer serve us. It's important to free your own mind, liberate yourself. It's important to have a clear mind, clear heart, so that you can get to understanding your purpose. The ability to walk before others and alone without any sense of fear or doubt. That's important. Think of the monks that are in the South on a walk of peace. In order for them to walk together for peace, they have to have a clear mind. They must be showering, must be vibrating from within with unconditional love. And I heard one of them say, we're not on this journey alone. We're not walking for peace alone. Because if you notice, they have police escorts, If you notice, they have plenty of people around them. If you notice, they have lodgings that they can go to rest their feet, to rest their bodies. But what is most important, there is a promenade of people awaiting them, walking with them, creating an alleyway and streets so that they could walk. Because the monks are there, but the people are being supportive. The people are raising, or with them, raising and opening their heart to shower their communities with peace. So the monks are not by themselves. It is the collective group that is with them from one neighborhood, one town, one city to the next, helping them foster the heart of compassion. That is the greatest thing that is happening, and the people are remembering. This sense of collective humanity is being in service, shining brightly, truly opening and growing in the awareness of their own truth, which is doing what? Preparing them to shine brightly. Their remembrance of their divine nature will be the key to their success. This is highly important. Radiant heart. Understand that radiant heart is happening now. Namaste. My grace is your grace. And if you would like to follow me more often, go down to the description that I have filled out for this particular video and use my links that I have for Linktree and that I have for rss.com for my podcasts on Circle of Grace 1, which will help you have a better understanding of yourself and help you graduate. The shift is happening now. We are moving from 3D to 5D consciousness on the bridge of unconditional love, the sacredness of the spirit of divine grace and compassion. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. And I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, the founder and chief principal teacher of the Circle of Grace 1, founded on July 2nd, 1974, in honor to the first grace in my life, my biological mother, Grace Virginia Delaney Revels. Take care, everybody. And I look forward to giving you more information that can help you become more abundant with the overflow of divine grace and remembrance in your own life. Take care now. Look forward to seeing you again.